With me now, Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas. Congresswoman, a pleasure to have you back. Welcome.
It's good to be with you. Pleasure to be with you.
I want to go. Sorry, say it again, Congresswoman.
Hello to all your viewers.
Oh my goodness, yes. Hello to all the viewers, and let's go back to you and I want to talk about your tweets, because you wrote in part, quote, I have tears in my eyes, but joy in my soul. I am so overwhelmed as I know that women around the nation, women of color, and yes, black women can see their equal status in this nation finally. You know, we have lived through the election, Congresswoman, of the first black president. We could see the election of the first black and first South Asian American woman vice president. I know you told Anderson Cooper that Kamala Harris's selection takes women of color to the mountaintop that Martin Luther King preached. Is this something you actually thought you would see?
Well, I know that Joe Biden is a good man. I know that there was an enormous amount of advocacy and emphasis, and I'd use the word pressure in a good way from African-American women and African-American men around the nation in a good way to suggest that this was the time. But did I expect so? Not after the treatment of our friend and ceiling breaker Hillary Clinton in 2016. Most women were saying when, but we were also saying if not now, then when. We couldn't think of a moment like this bypassing us again. And one of the reasons why I use the mountaintop is because that has always been the pinnacle of liberation for us. Those of us who admired the movement, were in the movement of any kind, and certainly admired this secular prophet, which was Dr. Martin Luther King. And those were his last words, that he had been to the mountaintop. He had seen the promised land, but he might not get there with us. And now, knowing that black women still statistically, Brooke, still are at the lowest ebb of numbers, whether it is the amount of money they make per dollar, 51 cents in some places, it's poverty, whether or not it's the responsibility of raising children. We know black women, or unemployment, we know black women face these obstacles. And to be able to say, we also know that our grandmothers worked in the homes of others, washed dishes, clean houses, to provide for their families and also provide for us. That's what black women did. And now to say that a black woman is now part of the unity ticket of Joe Biden and Senator Harris to run for the presidency and vice president of the United States, yes, she has grabbed us and taken us to the mountaintop.
What do you say to those who say, Senator Harris was a safe pick for Vice President Biden?
What I say to them, she was a smart pick because a senior member or a member of the Judiciary Committee, a member of the Select Committee on Intelligence and Oversight, everyone saw her very calm but pointed testimony, a very organized in terms of what she's trying to secure, and I say questioning, of both Justice Kavanaugh, of course, Mr. Barr, Mr. Sessions as well. She was a strong pick on her credentials. Safe is never the word when you're running in the public eye for the highest office in the world. We recognize that the Trump machine will begin opposition research that we've never seen before. He used his favorite definition of black women that we are offended by, but we're not stopped by, and that is nasty. She was a nasty woman, absolutely just untenable in how he will approach this. She is smart, but she is a wife, she is a mother, and she also has compassion. You know, Brooke, when she came to the United States Senate, we began working together on criminal justice issues. I was then senior on the Criminal Justice Committee and the House Judiciary Committee, had been on that committee for a very long time, and we began the sentencing reduction work. We began the work dealing with bail reform, prison reform. She jumped right in with ideas and success. and a strong fighter for the Justice and Policing Act. And she knew these issues and still was very much an advocate, because she believes that we can get this done because she understands law enforcement and understands the criminal justice system and criminal justice reform.
I know she and Joe Biden are hoping to get it done on November 3rd, but let me ask you about the former vice president, because listen, we know he's made some headlines throughout his campaign for controversial comments about the black community, including recently suggesting it is not as diverse as the Latino community. Yes, he walked that back, but that wasn't the first time. Congresswoman Lee, do these continued remarks at all concern you with respect to getting black voters out to vote? And do you see Senator Harris playing a role, intentional or not, in blunting criticism of these remarks?
Well, I listened to both Joe Biden's heart and Senator Harris's heart. She said, I believe in Joe Biden. And I think it's going to be important for all of us who believe in Joe Biden to really be part of the messaging. I believe in Build America Back Better, or Build Back Better. We have got to do that. We have to restore the international prominence of this nation. We have to deal with COVID-19 in a humanitarian and a scientific and medically safe way. I think that Joe Biden's basic core values and his message is about that he's going to be a doer and he's going to be a listener. Yes, all of us in the realm of the spotlight may have a moment, but I think together as a team, Senator Harris and Vice President Biden will get the message out that I'm for you. I'm for you, America, whether you're rural or urban, whether or not you're suburban. How about that? Trying to provide a schism with suburban women, trying to play to this opposition, to the divisiveness of Confederate statutes. We're not going to do that. And I think the American people will listen to the message. They may see a bump in the road, they may see something that gets walked back, but the overall message, we're going to unify. We're not going to leave you out. You're going to have a seat at the table. That's the infusion of excitement I have. And I say to young black women who are getting this in their lifetime and may take this for granted by saying, wow, this is what happens here. I want to give them my history and say to them that this is so unique. Listen to the real message. Build America Back Better, but also you will now have a seat at the table. Brooke, I think that's going to be the overriding message. No matter what may occur, October surprises and otherwise, I think the message is, America, you've got to see the table and we care about you. That's the Biden-Harris ticket. We care about you.
We honor Shirley Chisholm in the notion of bringing a folding chair, but this may be building an entirely longer table, depending on which way the future goes. I do want to end on the note about sororities. I think this is such an amazing part of this whole sorority, right? So like Senator Harris, you are a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated, is the oldest black sorority in the entire country, and voting, voter registration, has always been a central focus, but this connects AKA to the political process in a very different and I imagine quite a personal way, Congresswoman Lee. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Well, you are great. She is my Sora, and we are the oldest, but we are generous and kind, and we expect to embrace all. But I can't tell you, the pink and green is waving. We were on a call at midnight last night. We want to thank our Supreme Basilisk, Madam Glover. We are excited about where we're going with all of this. And frankly, it is to wake up all women. But this oldest sorority was organized before, on the edge of World War I, and it was organized when women were in those kitchens, black women, they were in those homes cleaning up. It was in the midst of Jim Crowism. It was in the midst of the hanging fruit. It was a tough time. We had just been emancipated from slavery, but things had not changed. And these bright women organized themselves at Howard and around to say that we too are America, and that we as black women want to create a sisterhood that will create opportunity. And I guess that message will be one that we'll use as we advocate for Senator Harris and as we advocate for the president, the next president of the United States. We care. We want to give Americans opportunities. We want to build it back better. What a perfect unity ticket. And I must say, Shirley Chisholm, Barbara Jordan, Madam C.J. Walker, Sojourner Truth, just a whole bunch of women that are now smiling. Maya Angelou, just smiling down on this occasion. And I think they're whispering in the winds. I can't forget my brother, John Robert Lewis. We're all going against the wind. And this is going to be the time for us. As I speak to you, I get chills. I'm emotional about this because, no, I couldn't believe it, but I believe it now. And I'm so proud of this ticket with the assets that each of them bring to the table for America. Build it back and build it back better.
I so appreciate all of your time and just everything, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee. Thank you.
We're going to get this done. Thank you.